Welcome, welcome, welcome to this edition of Transformation Thursday. As always, we are so grateful, eternally grateful, that you have thought it good to hang out with us on today and to be a part of this discussion and this thought. As always, we welcome Dr. Chappelle. Christopher, one of my favorite commercials. I've grown to love this commercial. I see it all the time. In this commercial, it's a father and his daughter. They walk into a store. They had placed an order online. I can't remember the product, but they had placed an order online, and they walk into the store with the expectation that the order that they placed would be ready. As they get into the store, they ask the clerk, where's our order? And the clerk will go on to say, it's not ready yet. The young girl would say, why? And the clerk would come back and say, well, because we didn't get your online order in time. And she would say, why? And then he would say, because we have slow internet. And she would say, why? And then he would say, because we have poor service. And she would say, why? And he would then say, because we have a poor carrier. And she would say, why? As I thought about those responses, why? I thought about the life of many of us. Why do we keep going back to things that serve us or that no longer serve us? Why do we keep going back to things that we have been delivered from? And why do we keep going back to attitudes that we have been removed from thinking or patterns of thinking that no longer serve us? Why do we keep going back to relationships that you have been removed from and feelings that you have been removed from and why do we keep going back? That's the question that each of us has to ponder at some point. Why do we keep going back to things that don't serve us, things that don't move us into our destiny, into our promise? Why do we keep going back? And it drew me to the children of Israel as God would lead them out of Egypt. He led them out of Egypt. He led them out with provision. Because the Bible would suggest to us that they came out of Egypt with everything, gold and silver and donkeys and everything. They came out of Egypt with all these particular things. But not only did he lead them out with provisions, but he also led them out with proof that I'll take care of you and proof that I'll move you through. But he also led them out with a promise that I'm going to be with you wherever you go. And then finally, he led them out with the fact that his presence would always be with them. But despite the fact that he led them out with the provision and the proof and the promise in his presence, their reality didn't reflect the promise. Their reality did not reflect the promise. And because of that, they desired to go back to what did not serve them any longer. And the question for us today becomes, how do you not go back to what no longer serves you? How do we not go back to what no longer serves us? And that's my question as I pose to you.
Well, I believe the best way to not go back and repeat is to be truthful about the history of the experience.
Really?
Right.
I like that.
We have a tendency to have a revisionist history and perspective of things. I can recall many of times where, for instance, I remember an intern that I went on, my first intern, and it was challenging to say the least. Me and one of my best friends, we were there, and we had an experience. But while we were going through that experience, it was like, man, I can't wait to get out of here. We were in the middle of nowhere, not in the place where folk look like us, could relate, and dealing with all type of social issues and whatnot, right? But once we were out of there, we looked back and we had all kinds of stories.
Yeah.
Stories that would seem fun and cool and adventurous. And if we were to look at it, and after we tell the stories and have the laughs and the jokes, it's like, man, it wasn't so bad. It was bad as we said it was. And that's how sometimes we have the tendency to review history.
Mm-hmm.
Once we out of a relationship, man, it wasn't that bad.
Right.
Or once we out of some situation, it wasn't that bad. So because we make up in our mind that it wasn't that bad, we're more prone to go back into it just to remember, man, this was that bad. So that's my thinking on that.
You know, I like that. A good, honest look at how things were. Because, you know, when I think about the children of Israel, when I think about them, they remember. In fact, they point out, we remember how it was in Egypt. They said, we remember how we ate the leeks and we ate the onions and we had fish. We remember how we ate good. That's what they kept saying, how our bellies were filled and how we felt satisfied. But what they didn't recall was the fact that they cried out day and night, because the Bible says that they cried out day and night that God would deliver them from a harsh taskmaster. They cried out over and over and over again that God would deliver them. And now, while they're at the cusp of a promise, but faced with uncertainty, faced with the challenges and the struggles of life, they say, I want to go back. Because I remember when my belly was full, and right now my belly is empty. I don't remember how I struggled. I don't remember how you hated on me. I don't remember how you treated me. I don't remember the bad way or the bad thoughts that I had. I don't remember the feelings of loneliness that I had. But I do remember those small, few little good things. And I want to go back to those good things because I'm afraid of going forward into a better thing.
Yeah. So the possibility of a better tomorrow is sometimes blurred by a comfortable yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So it's easy to look and want to stay in the comfort zone. It's easy to deal with the devil some people believe that it's easy to deal with the devil that you know.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. So in moving out and dealing with uncertainty, that is probably more challenging to most people than dealing with the known of bad experiences.
Mm-hmm.
So once we move past that and say, okay, I'm willing to embrace, I'd rather be hungry than to be under that type of rule.
Yeah.
I'd rather put myself and live my life out on the edge than to be under oppression or whatever it may be. Many people go back
Mm-hmm.
because it seemed good for a moment, because it's a comfortable thought, a familiar pace. We get to a point sometimes where we know how to navigate those
Yeah.
challenges.
That's it.
Right?
That's it right there. Uh-huh.
I know my way around this one. So when I don't have a complete roadmap for the unknown, the uncertainty, when I don't know where the land that he'll show me is at, I just need to go.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not always comfortable with that.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I am comfortable with what I know.
And because I'm comfortable with what I know, I stay stuck. And I don't move into what God really has for me. And far too many people are too comfortable. And they stay stuck, not moving into what he has for us. Why do we keep going back? Because it's comfortable. Why do we stay in the same positions? Because it's comfortable. And those words that she kept asking, why? I believe it's God asking us, why do you keep going back when I have so much more for you? And so on today, I want you to make a declaration and affirmation that I will not go back. I will not go back. I will move forward, knowing that the provision is there, the proof is there, his promises are there, and his presence is always there. I won't go back. See you next week on Transformation Thursday.